John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hey there, this is John Ulzheimer. I am a consumer credit expert. I have over 30 years of experience in the credit industry. I've spent time at FICO, which is the company behind the FICO credit scoring system, and Equifax, which is one of the 3 recognized credit reporting agencies in the United States. So today I'm going to talk about what do credit card issuers have the ability to do to your accounts. So let's talk kind of about the chronology of your relationship with credit card issuers. Number one, you don't have a right to a credit card. And so if you apply for credit, obviously the credit card issuer can deny your application straight out. Number two, they can counteroffer an application. So if you make an application for a certain type of card, then based on the risk you pose to the issuer, they may counteroffer with an alternative. And so a good example of that would be if you've got less than stellar credit and you apply for something like a platinum card or something that's kind of one of their higher end products, they can counteroffer with like a classic card or a card that's going to have a lower credit limit, or even counteroffer with like a secured card or something other than a kind of a top tier credit card. Number three, they can approve your application as applied for. So in other words, you can just say, yep, you're good enough. We're going to approve you for the account for which you have applied, and that's it. You're off to the races. Once your account has been opened, there are some restrictions with respect to what card issuers can do with your account terms. Now, obviously, the ongoing relationship that you have with your card issuer is subject to you continuing to meet their criteria, meaning that you have to make your payments on time. You certainly have to maintain good credit with your other creditors, because if your credit scores start to deteriorate and you start going into default and missing payment on competing creditors, then your credit card issuers can take action. They can close your account. They can lower your credit limits and such. They have to give you notice prior to doing such things, and you can opt out of those changes, but then they can just close your account straight away. So it's not necessarily a good idea to opt out of any potential changes unless you just want to lose your account straight away. Interest rate increases. Generally speaking, your interest rate on a card that is open these days anyways is going to be variable. So your credit card interest rates are what are referred to as variable rate cards, which means that they can change over time. They can change because of, for example, the index to which they are tied can go up, and therefore your interest rate can go up. Or if your credit has deteriorated, then they can change your interest rate. What they can't do is they can't retroactively increase your interest rate. So if you have purchases that you have already made and the interest rate on those purchases is, for example, 20%, they can't change your interest rate to 29.9% and then apply that interest rate to all of your prior purchases. They have to keep the prior interest rate in place. So you're going to get a statement that's going to have balances that are going to be charged different rates of interest because your rates have changed over time. Obviously, if you get back on track and you start making your payments on time, they have to reconsider your interest rate and perhaps adjust it back to the lower rate once you have kind of recovered your credit standing. Another thing that is not terribly uncommon is card issuers lowering credit limits. Again, they're absolutely allowed to do this. Normally, when a card issuer changes your credit limit, it's because your usage patterns have changed. So for example, let's say hypothetically you have a card that's got a really high credit limit, let's say $25,000 just for discussion purposes, and you stop using your card for an extended period of time, then it's not going to be a surprise if the card issuer wants to change your credit limit to be much lower, to be in line with your spending pattern. So that absolutely can happen. So long stretches of inactivity are generally going to lead to lower credit limits. So if you have any other questions about changes to your credit card account, drop them in the comment section below. And I appreciate your time today. Have a great day. We'll talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.